Zayak, you were first. So you got like another 150 subs. Yeah, man. It's should be audio now. I just have myself muted and the sound is alt tabbed, so the sound won't play right now. What am I? I'm like 714. I've gotten 553 in the last 28 days. It's absolutely crazy, man. Now there's okay, good. Sorted book 4, the first, you're second. Yeah. Yeah, I got there first. All right, we're just gonna today's gonna be, we might do something like a bit later that's a bit more exciting, but what we're gonna do today is look at some of the traps and fill out the wiki page and all that for the stuff. So I have myself a template that I'm using. And template is here, and I'm gonna try and make everything look the same as far as laying it out, and you know, make it easier to digest all the information. Plus, we now have some of the information. So you know, we're gonna look at the secondary status effect duration. I think this means 1 second. Primary damage of 15. So we have some of the stuff. I'm the only Orcs YouTuber. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of other guys who do it, you know, Mr. Juice Bags and Vermilion Phoenix, and Wanderbots he's played. Well, there's a couple of other guys. Who's it? Alcat, I think. Let me check. Yeah, an Angry Owl. He's done a couple of things. And then there's also Behemoth. You can't forget about Behemoth and NYU, but I don't think they're doing too much with that. They're just doing clips of stuff. Then Orcs Must Die by Behemoth 3. So yeah, you know, those are all the guys. Every time I come by somebody, I like to, if you go to my channel, hey, how's it going? Light mode. I know, crazy, right? If you go to my channel, you go to about. No, video players channels, discussion channels. I got some people here that I've seen post like orc stuff, so every once in a while I'll look through it and I'll add them to the feature channels. Yeah, Behemoth's good. He's really good at the game. But so yeah, so we got some of the information. We're just gonna go through and take a look at getting that inputted, testing it really quick. Make sure the effect radius is from 300.0 is actually like 3 square tiles. We now have information that I didn't have before about the dart spitter, for example. Oh, yeah, it called it the Arcane bowling ball. Let me see if I can find that dart spitter. Here we go. So the dart spitter, the secondary damage is 5, and that is a damage mitigation. And I didn't know how much that was because I couldn't test it. It was never calculated in the in-game stuff. On top of that, the projectiles per second is very hard to figure out because the column would spin. And so even if I took a video recording and I was counting each projectile that shot out, they were going at like, I don't know, 15 frames a second or something, the range on the cannon. Yeah, it doesn't, this doesn't have all of the information, but that's true. We do have that. What is that called? The snow cannon, right? I don't know what they call it here. This is like the early stuff. Also, this is without any of the upgrades, so that's the other kind of thing that we're held back by is some of the upgrades. So we may have to test that as well. But this will give us a nice base to jump off of here. So lightning staff was snowblower probably. Yeah, so here it doesn't show range, so we're gonna have to figure out the range precisely. So. But it does show us the damage and the effect duration, I guess. Lots of huge channels like the Completionist is a hard. Completionist is a large OMD fan, so now it's not just stated. It's probably going to get far more attention once people catch on. Yeah. I hope so. And yes, I agree. My channel really blew up once it came out on once the official release was the thing. Of course, I wasn't really uploading and doing a ton of stuff before that, but yeah. So yeah, so we have some of that information. Like I said, we don't have like range for the snowblower or duration of stun or whatever. But someone who's already tried to look at the Orcs 3 wiki. Appreciate your work. Good to remember someone makes those available for games. Don't just materialize with the game. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like 300 subs around a couple days. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy. A lot of comments too. So I'm trying to keep up with all the comments as well as everything else. Okay, so the first thing we are looking at is the acid geyser. As some people say, it's a geyser, or if you're Canadian, you probably say it's a goozer. Okay. We're gonna go visual editing because I don't know how to code things. All right, so for this, of course, we're gonna put the tooltip stuff. So let me pull that up here. So the general trap info. Let me play. You know what? Let me do this. They've got OMD3 music. Let me just put this on like repeat or something. Oh, or is that something I gotta unlock through? Might be something from Stadia. Or no, I mean Steam. Okay, let's check Steam real quick. Store. Soundtrack, here we go. That way I can play it in the background for you guys. Just because I'll be alt-tabbing a lot, so you're not going to hear any sound other than my voice and maybe the bird rubbing his beak together. Okay. I broke 700. What does melting acid do anyways? Yeah, melting is we're actually going to test that here with the acid geyser here in a moment. But essentially it makes enemies take bonus damage from physical. We're about to see how much we're about to see how much it actually helps. We're going to test it with ice as well. So we're gonna compare ice. We're gonna compare stone, which ice and stone last time I tested it were the same amount of extra physical. And then we're gonna test acid on top and see what happens. And then we're gonna test acid and ice and see how much more it increases to make sure that they both work together at the same time. Yeah. I mean, acid seems to be high tier debuff mini trap upgrade to acid. Well, they added them in. Acid was not really in the game before, so they added a bunch of new stuff, and they needed something new to add into the game, and therefore they chose. From my testing, ice doesn't double physical, but it's more like a 1.5 modifier. But we'll test it. We're gonna do ice by itself. We're gonna do stone by itself, acid by itself, and then if stone and ice are the same, which it should be, you can't have a stone and like stoning and freezing an enemy does not amplify the damage at all. But it does add to combos because they're two different effects. Or there weren't so many ice upgrades. Ice is pretty powerful. Well, it used to be a lot more powerful, but since they reworked the endless and how endless works, maybe not so much, but still pretty good. Okay, so we have Raise. I'll pull this over here so you guys can see where I'm typing here. AOE. The thing is down. Like, oh, it actually might be done. The soundtrack. Is that loud to you? Let me see. That's probably good, right? Let me know if that sound is good for you. Acid, Geyser, or Brimstone? I would say Brimstone. Generally, you're going to use quite a few elemental traps, like the laser cannons of lightning and wall charger and floor scorcher, stuff like that. And so the Arcane Brim would help you out more with that. Blast it. But if you end up doing a lot of physical, like saw blade launcher, swinging mace, physical, spike wall, floor spikes on physical, that sort of thing, then you probably want to go for the acid geyser or goozer or geyser, depending on what part of the world you're from. Like the victory music, yeah, it's all catchy. Sprays AoE, acid, 10. Acid. Okay. Size of the trap is 2x2 SQ, and SQ is a grid square, so we need to think that. Trigger range, we'll check it out. Projectile range, we'll also check it out. In-game cost, we'll check it out. Effect damage type, acid. Acid is a damage type. Effect is melt and acid. The cooldown we'll check out. Duration we'll check out. I missed it. Oh, Johnny Borg, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Am I posting results in a YouTube video? I can check it out. Thanks, Zero. In 2 acid slows, but not this iteration, so. Oh, I didn't know that. Posting the results of the acid and stuff. I'll do it whenever I covered like all the new stuff. I plan on doing a an ultimate tier list video where I cover everything except for maps, because they haven't changed maps at all. But they've changed other stuff, and since they've included acid as like something to get easily and test and stuff. I'll include all of everything I find with it. You know, there's some stuff we don't know yet, like what bleed does and how it works, and we don't know what burn does exactly. But now that we know the exact damage amount of the brimstone, it's a 12. We're gonna test to make sure it's still 40 total. So now we know they take 12 initial damage, and then the rest of it's burn over time. So we're gonna test that too. The duration. Projectile range, yeah, because it's whatever the projectile is. It's probably going to be the same as the trigger range. That's as far as what I remember, and the damage amount. Okay, so that we're going to look at these. So these are the things we're going to fill in, and then underneath it, we're going to have our level upgrades, what they do, and then our unique upgrades, what they do in a thing. So let's go ahead and push that in there. And before I do that, actually, let me turn the music off of this so that way you're not hearing it twice. There we go. We need to go to endless. Test that stuff. Okay. Sounds like that's yeah. It's gonna be. I'm gonna try and make it like short and to the point. We'll have to see. All right. So our table, we've got our reduced cooldown and our unique upgrades. Salt tier videos are great. No wonder Vork is evil. Use alpha short swords. Yeah, they're pretty garbage, but we'll test them. We'll test them again, and if there's any changes that they make, I really want to test that. But the upgrades weren't actually doing anything, so we're gonna see if the upgrades do anything yet. Okay, we got the upgrades. We got level. Oh, upgrades. Unique. Upgrades. Okay. Let's see. How do I extend this? It doesn't say. All right. So we got Deuce cooldown, which costs 4 skulls. We've got reduced cooldown more and even more 6 and 8. Okay. I don't know who told you that Elven short swords are great. I'll put that there. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know who told you Elven short swords are great there, Mike. It wasn't me. All right. Deal 5,000 damage. I was wondering if in Scramble all your debuffs or immunities wouldn't be possible to win. Yeah. Very different heroes have different max mana. Yes. Yeah. Cygnus. That's one of the things I'll be covering because that's one of the things we've uncovered. Not the amount of mana, but the fact that they have different mana pools. I don't think that was the case in Stadia. But yeah, Cygnus has the most maximum mana and has the lowest health. And then Borwick's on the other side of that, most health, lowest mana. Which I don't know why you would ever not play Cygnus. Yannick, so I need your help. Collector achievement? Yeah, nobody's able to unlock that, Yannick. It's a bug, they're aware of it. I think the only people who have it are developers, but they're aware of it. Increase melt. Sumix, hi. I did not understand Zero's that post. Was asking if he meant, if he thought that, oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, so this is everything we need. Let's go ahead and hop into a game real quick, and we'll test out this stuff here. And we may need to even pull up our video recording software. So let's, got a couple of videos rendered that we can upload when we're ready. It's like this spam, so I play dead. Yeah, effects at the top. Did I? Oh, I did. You're right. Alright. So is Acid Cannon useless after they already got hit with the initial hit of Cannon? I feel like it doesn't melt them, it just hits them and stops damaging. We'll take a look. It's a good question. I think the ice continues to go. Alright, so what we have for it so far is, it says effective radius of 300, which I'm guessing is 3 grid squares, or at least maybe 6 grid squares. We're gonna have to see. The secondary status effect looks like it's probably 1 second, and the primary damage is 15. So we're gonna check this just to make sure we're reading it right and there's nothing else going on here. We'll also see if it's damage over time, because people keep saying it is, but I don't remember seeing their health tick down like it does on fire or something. Mitigate damage, really handy. Yeah, it's really good for, and I'll cover it whenever I cover the heroes in the new video, but it's really good for waiting outside of a gate that has sappers or firelings, so you can take care of them before they go anywhere inside your kill box, and then you don't have any other issues with anything around you. Is there any way to remap the second jump teleport featherfall? You know, you can remap stuff. All right, we need to go into, let's see, acid. Well, you know, I don't really know who's not immune to acid. I guess probably close quarters, because that has an earth elemental. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the remapping, though. Controller remapping. Yeah, jump. You can just do the jump. So if I put this on the tilde, yeah, I can use that instead. I don't know if it's different for controllers, or if it works for controllers. I've heard some people have issues with some of the options they change. Yeah, I agree, Zero. Bomb is... Hey, what's up? D-link it from jump. Well, yeah, I mean, you'll have to change it to something, I think, unless you just want to get rid of jump altogether. You can't... It looks like you have to have something there. So you have to have something on jump. But you can put anything on jump. So you can get rid of space and put it on maybe a key that you're never going to click. Like a numpad. Can you do numpads? Take a look. Oh, you can't do anything on the numpad. You can do numlock though. Put on your numlock. Want to jump it automatically hits jump twice. I jump and not double jump. Oh. I've never heard of that issue. I would maybe throw that into the bug report on the Discord in the link below. I haven't heard of that one yet. Okay, so let's get to the acid geyser. And let's check real quick. So we've got fire dudes. We have a fire lord coming out. Earth lord, I mean. Weak against Arcane and Ice, strong against headshots and fizz. So yeah, we can use the Earth Lord to test the acid geyser up a little bit. Sometimes I get a highest structure on a map with double jump from the... It's hilarious to look from the side. Yeah, you just make sure you don't get stuck. I've been stuck before on that. So it looks like it's got a trigger range of 2 squares. Straight up. I need to level up the broadsword anyways with damage, so we're gonna go ahead and like use it. Got him. Which of the challenge you say is really good? And also, howdy. Squeak, I would say that the... Oh, good name, by the way. I love Total War. I would say the best trap, in my opinion, right now, from the new stuff, is probably the Floor Scorcher. You really can't go wrong with that. I'm hoping the secondary for this blade doesn't count against the numbers that we're going to have to find. Alright, so while they're dying... trigger range is 2 squares. And we'll link that up in a bit. Projectile range we're going to have to find. And hopefully we can find it here.
More enemies on the way. The enemy army is attacking on another front. Watch out. Our enemies have broken through again.
Okay. Just need him to come over and follow us to the other lane. I guess I probably should have brought a ranged weapon as well, just so I can take care of anything else, but need to hit him before we lose kind of thing. Now he's three squares tall, so if it like hits the ceiling, then that's going to be 3 square tall thing, and then we're going to have to test on a 4 high ceiling just to make sure. Okay, now we're also going to start recording, so I'm going to hit F9 here. Yeah, it doesn't look like damage over time to me. But we did just see, we did just witness how long it took, so we're going to be able to load that up again. 3 skulls on the bottom right. I have no idea. I think that's like a loading thing, but I think it's bugged, so I'm not too sure. Okay, now let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so yeah, so damage is 15. That's as much as it does, so that's correct on the thing there. So, oh, we didn't get the cooldown though. So it's Warhammer fans, fun. Found the acid snowblower to be nice, but I'm not showing the numbers. Bonus skulls, no, they're not bonus skulls. I don't think. I only got 2 bonus skulls technically. Well, no, I didn't get any, did I? Yeah, I didn't get any. No, I think that's a loading thing, and I think they're just stuck there. It's probably a bug. Okay, so yeah, so it does 15 damage. Let's go ahead and damage him out. 15. Okay. And now we're going to need to test all the cooldowns and stuff. And the duration, let's go ahead and take a look at duration. I need to bring up Sony Vegas Pro, which I have on my desktop. From here. For a second. All right. Let me exit the game, then open the program. We'll be able to check it. Oh, maybe I just should have searched Vegas Pro. Okay. Alright, now we'll upload that video. Let's take a look at that duration here. So he got affected by it. Where? Placed it down. We might be able to see how far up it shot as well. Okay, so it only shoots 2 squares up. So its trigger range is the same as its effect range or projectile range. The in-game cost 700. Oh, turn off my numlock. Okay. Is it worth to play the other 2 Orcs Must Die games? I mean, some people would say it's really good. So Moon, what's going on? You know, I came from Unchained. I saw a Markiplier video on it, which I don't even watch the guy, and I got into Unchained and I loved it. When I went to 1, I just couldn't play it. When I went to 2, it was okay, but it just felt like it was missing a bunch. And I think 3 really takes care of that here. So, but it's really up to you. I mean, if you played 3 or if you played Unchained especially, you're probably not going to like 2 very much. But 3 is really good, so. Okay. So as soon as he walks onto it, it looks like he gets affected by it. Okay. And it looks like he's staying affected by it for a while. Look at this. His duration, man. Is that like 5 seconds? Take a look. So here's about where it turns off. That's 6 seconds. That's a 6 second duration. Okay, so what does this say? This says 0.1. Okay, so this doesn't have our secondary or duration thing. 0.0 second. Never got to play Unchained due to lack of C servers. Yep. I thought it was really fun. I liked it. Okay, so now we just need the cooldown, and then with the cooldown we can figure out the DPS. I guess it depends on how many orcs, because it's something else. Does all acid do the same damage, or is it trap specific? It's probably trap specific. Yep, Levy. Yep. Let's open the Alchemist Satchel. Yeah, the Alch Satchel's 45 damage. I guess. Now there's something called the primary give chance, and I have no idea what this is for the give chance. I'm not sure yet. I think I know what it is, but I'm not too sure. So, we're not going to be able to tell. The Snowblower primary damage is 80. Usually when you change a damage source, you don't actually change the amount of damage it's done. But I think when it comes to fire, there's like bonus damage being dealt if it's fire. But I don't know that for certain. Unchained was a fun game. I hope to see more added to OMD3. It's a nice base game, lots of potential to expand. Mechanics, yep, I agree. Brower, I agree. And Emu. Yeah, overall, you know, it kind of depends on what you play first, I think. If you played Unchained, it might be hard to get into 2. Feels like you're going backwards by like a generation. Or like by 5 years. But it's still the same game, right? So if you like killing orcs and you like making traps, you know, there are cool things about it too, I will say. The water elementals are really cool, and there's some maps where you have 2 rifts that you have to defend, which is also a really neat idea. And there's acid in that game. There wasn't acid in Orcs Must Die, Unchained, so that's cool. Oop, on my keyboard again. It's like, why? Go somewhere else. Okay, and he put his food in my keys. I think it's a chance for enemies to split into pieces when they die. For the water guys, yeah. Oh, for the Gibbs thing or Jibs thing. This primary Jib chance. Yeah, maybe. Because then there's the secondary stuff for the Ox Satchel, right? I didn't know it even did primary damage. I was using it the other day on a co-op, and I just like threw him down and then spam right mouse button as I threw him. I didn't like him too much. But yeah, that Gib chance. It's not Jib, it's Gib. Isn't that what Kelsey says? Technically, Gibbs are short for giblets, or did she say giblets? I don't know. All right, let's get into the cooldown of the trap. It didn't really matter which one we play on for cooldown. Is that all we need? Just cooldown? Oh, and the reduce cooldown, what that does, and then increase duration, what that does, and a melting duration. As a matter of fact, if that duration is 6 seconds, I'm gonna guess the melting is gonna be 8. So, the duration of the trap itself, though. Huh. It must be duration of 1 second for the trap itself to spew out the acid, and then 6 seconds for the deer. That's probably what that one thing is. That's what this is. It's probably just the trap itself. All right, let's take a look at that. Who uses mana on primary seems like a waste of weapon slot. Yeah, I agree. That's why I didn't rank the some of those very high. But I still think the as far as anything that costs mana, I think the Ice Amulets may be worth it, but the rest of them are not. Is OMD3 cross-platform play? No, it's not. Amazing video, thanks, appreciate it. Cross-platform, right? Okay. So again, we're gonna need to record because we need to see the cooldown and stuff like that. And transfer saves though. Yes, you can transfer saves amongst I don't know if you can import them into Stadia. Yeah, that's definitely 1 second for that. And then when does it come back? Man, it's taking forever to come back. This thing's on a long cooldown. If I had to guess, it's at like, what, 14 seconds? Okay. Alright, and then we want the next orc to walk through. So that we can see the range. Am not a fan, but I watch. Appreciate it. Looks like sprays maybe 3 away, 3 grid squares away. We're gonna have to put some other traps down to figure out how far that is. Actually, let's just do this. This here. It was shooting, so that'd be 1, 2, 3. Is it shooting that far? No, it's only like 2. So it's only like in the area around it. Let's go ahead and move this over here then, and we'll see how far it goes on this side. There's the third. Yeah, there's the third. Okay, so I think it is an area of effect of a range of 3 around the trap itself. Biggest issue with the Ice Amulet is this Stone Staff exists. Yeah, exactly. Stone Staff is way better. It's more mana efficient for all the crowd control you got. Okay. Alright, let's look at the duration. Oh, the cooldown, I mean. So we got that. Oh, that's the other one. Ah. Go to the other one first. Okay. Alright, so it triggered here. got 1 second of triggering animation. So we'll get it when the guy turns green on it. Is I think when it triggers? I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't trigger until a little bit later. So it's got a slight delay on it. That's fine. Okay, and then we're running up. Check it. When does it come back? Okay, it looks like it comes back fully. It rests here-ish around this area. Okay. Alright, what does that leave us with? When it starts coming back up. At least with a 20-second cooldown. That's crazy. Jamie, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. 20-second cooldown is absolutely insane. That might be the highest cooldown in the game. Do you play later endless or yeah, later on. It's gonna be like I don't know, 4 or 6 hours of wiki work, and then we'll switch over to something else. Maybe a scramble, maybe an endless. We'll see. But I figured you guys just wanted to hang out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so with that, 20-second cooldown. Yeesh. Yeesh. And duration is 1 second. 6 seconds for melt. I guess we'll do melt first then, since we have it up there first. So the acid is 1 second, the duration for the melt is 6. Try getting a scramble co-op, but wasn't able to. If we can get somebody to go co-op today, that'd be pretty cool. We could try a scramble, see what happens. I got my buddy. He said he's going to join me tomorrow morning, so we should have quite a bit of co-op tomorrow. See what the cooldown is and everything. By Shunpu. If I knew how to, yeah. I got these JSON files from somebody else. Levy, thanks for the sub. The JSON files came from somebody who does programming, and he did all the Orcs Must Die Unchained wiki. And we've got a couple of guys who are looking at getting this wiki, you know, up to par and up to snuff. I've just been working on it on Stadia, and this is how I test stuff on Stadia because we didn't have the game files back then. So, yeah, but all we have right now are these JSON files here. Let me pull it up. Let's see what's here. So we just have some of the traps, some of the weapons, and we don't have any attributes, and the attributes are really what I'm looking forward to. How do you lay on the ground like that? Fan from Thailand. Cupid's, you lay on the ground with a double jump. So you hit jump and hit jump again shortly after, and then that allows you to lay on the ground. Okay, so our DPS is pretty low. 40. I mean, it's not good. Let's put not good. I mean, it you know, it might be okay if you have like a lot of people around it, but that's a pretty long cooldown. I didn't realize it was that long. This trap got worse for me. Yeah. This DPS is not good. Okay, so now we got to see what the reduced cooldown is. Maybe the reduced cooldown takes it down by 2 seconds to tick. It's a special from Cygnus. Yeah, every character has a double jump special, and Cygnus is asleep, which is probably the best one right now, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch it over to increase cooldown once, and then we'll see what we get there.
Maximilian is gone.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
How do we test this? Oh, I know how to test it. Build a barricade, put it on one side, and see if the other side gets affected when the orcs split. Jackie!
There are enemies in
All right.
our rift room.
Okay. Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's see here. When do they pop out? If we throw barricades and they get affected on the other side, then we know we're doing good. Alright, so it's about here. Okay. That's when they got affected by the acid. They really liked acid anyways. Yeah, I'm starting to like it less. It's about... That's like when like the doors close right there. So what is that? 19 seconds. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It hasn't fully closed at 19 seconds, but it didn't fully open yet either. So, that's like when it shot up. So it lasts for 1 second, right? And then when it's finished, is about right here. I don't know if that acid residual is going to do anything. Which means that, even if we get rid of that, what are we looking at? Then we'd be looking at about 18 seconds then. So it depends if you count that 1 second of duration. If you count the 1 second, then this cooldown turns to 19. If you don't count it, then the cooldown turns to 20. So it's from activation is when the cooldown starts. Only reducing it by 1 second is kind of not good. Not good at all. 22, 19 seconds. Okay. I'm going to guess that this is going to go down to 18 seconds and then 17. And that's pretty unfortunate. All right, let's go ahead and get the range of the projectiles themselves, assuming that it's 3. 2 squares tall, and 2 squares wide as well. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's also get increased duration. We'll see how long the spray lasts. I'm assuming it's just going to go up by a second. Oh, we need barricades. Do we? Maybe we do tar as well. Like this. There we go. Hello there, Thomback. How are you? Okay, let's go ahead and hit record. We're looking for 2 things. We're looking for how long the acid sprays, which it was a second, now it might be 2. And we're looking for if the orcs on the right get affected by the acid. If they do, then the acid has... Oh, come on, guys. You can come over here. And it has a 3 square range, which it does not look like that's the case. Okay. We're going to do it once more and get the orcs to maybe hug the barricade here. Non-present of the acid trap? So far, not really. So far, not really. Yeah, that's only a 2 square then. Okay, fair enough. And maybe a 1.5 spray duration because it didn't seem like it was too well. 2 square tall. And 2 square wide. Okay. Alright, let's look at our durations. Alright, so the acid sprays at about right there. Yes, right there. Okay. And it sprayed for how long? About that long. Okay, let's look at that. Let's take a look at that. That is 3 seconds. Oh, okay, cool. What tier is acid trapping now? You know, currently I'm gonna have to put it in C tier. It might be the best acid to bring as far as the trap is concerned, but I think Brimstone's just way better. I did have it maybe in B tier because I think I put Brim in A, or maybe even S. I was gonna put the acid trap 1 step below it, but I think I'm gonna have to put it 2 steps below now. This cooldown is just not good. Okay, so but the duration increases up to 3 seconds, which is nice. At least it's what it appears to be. We'll take another quick look at the footage. And how many frames are away from 3. Yeah, we're really close to 3, so if you consider... Yeah, the particles like falling, then you're at 3 seconds, which the game might consider that. I mean, this guy in the back, let's see if he actually got affected. He didn't, so I'm not sure if that does, because it's a two square range, right? So this orc back here should have been affected by it, by the fallout, but it doesn't look like he was. Put Brimstone in A, yeah. So then I put this in C. I'd probably put it in C anyways, even if I put Brimstone in S. But let's look at where this guy was whenever it stopped. So he was kind of clumping up here with the other guy. And it could be that the projectiles are almost a little bit random, so they kind of have to like hit the orcs. But if you're in the center, you have a higher chance of getting hit. But if you're on the outside, you have a lower chance of getting hit. That could also be the case. The guy in the back looks like he wasn't hurt at all from it or affected at all. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Is it's 3 seconds long. So we'll keep that. Once we get the other game files, we'll have a better idea. Okay, so the cooldown itself, though, how long is that? Did we even get video footage? We do. I think we still have it on footage here. Coming back. And it happens about right there-ish. Huh. It's about 20 seconds. So the cooldown starts after the trap has been affected then. Because that's 21 seconds, actually. Oh, boy. Oh, that's 20 seconds, yeah. There's the 20-second mark. There's an orc not infested right in front of an infested one in the dead center. I think it sprays random. Well, we have the oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you're right. Your voice cracks are cracking up. I'll finally join your content. Yeah, I just I woke up not too long ago and throat's dry and I just drink a lot of soda all the time, so. Oh, cracking you up. Oh, appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, you are correct in that. That guy right there didn't get affected either. So, Okay. And it's unfortunate that the increased duration, that the cooldown doesn't start until afterwards, which means the cooldown's actually starting at 19 seconds because the duration of the projectile shooting out is 1 second. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. So that goes from 19 to 18. The duration increases it. So I'll say here, in the general information, cooldown. And this may be the case for all of the orcs, or all of the traps that we're going to have when we, modify the content inside of it to make it all nice and neat, concise. We may just put on the trap page itself that all trap cooldowns start after the projectiles have, or after the trap is done triggering with projectiles. We'll have to see. And we will take a look at that. I'll go ahead and put that in my notes here. Actually, has a long supply melting duration effect, acid geyser. We'll find out. It does have an upgrade for it, so that's good. And so far it's 6 seconds, which is kind of a long time for that melting effect. Okay. Alright, so now we get the cooldown and the increased melting duration even more. We're going to test that. Got 676 buckaroonies.
No one knows where he is.
What have I do to mean? Alright, so we're going to do this. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, well, do we? Let's see. I wish there was like a one tile tap for this. A one tile trap that we could use to block them off. We can try the barricades again just to make sure that that if it's a projectile thing, then maybe it does reach 3 across. It just doesn't. It becomes less accurate the farther it reaches. Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and record. And with this trap, we're also going to be testing damage. Did you even test a second time, save upgrade? Yeah, we did. We did. It just reduced it by another second. What the heck? Oh, no, 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 no. That's not possible. That reduced it. Right? Did it? It looked like... What? No, I thought it said increase. Yeah, increase melting duration. Either the animation left, or that's no longer... What? Or it's bugged. One of the two. Okay, let's look at it again. I'm gonna try and get this guy to come over to me on this side. Come on over, buds. Alright, the rest of you is walk over on the trap so I can see if any of the guys on the right get affected. He's affected and he's not. What? Okay, and we got the cooldown. I forgot to check the cooldown. I don't know if I got that on footage. Okay. We can go back and test it on the Earth Elemental. Or the Earth Lord, I mean. Okay. It's weird. Wasn't expecting that one. Alright. Oh, we did. It was down by a second. We just didn't put that in there. Okay. I don't know, you guys tell me. That looked weird to you. That looked weird to me. It lasted like... There's where it ended for that orc. When did it begin? Began right there. Yeah, it's like no time at all. Just 3 seconds. Yeah, that's gotta be like bugged or something. Okay, so that was when he first got affected by the trap. Then it came back up around here when the doors closed. For the official closing of it. And that was, so the 1 second duration. And doors closed at about 19 seconds is when it closed there. Let's see, sure we got that right. Triggered about right there. If we say when it's finished, it should be about right here. Looking at ourselves. that can't be right either. We got the reduced cooldown, right? It'd be about 17 seconds if we're being a little generous with it. That can't be right because it's 17 seconds for the other reduced cooldown, unless it's not working as intended. This is not what I want to see. Second charge. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if it was a second charge. Okay, that's not what we wanted to see. So let's check a couple of other things with that. Increased melting duration seemed to reduce it, unless just the graphics fell off. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. We are going to shoot them with the crossbow, left mouse button, see how much damage it does, and then we're going to hit them with acid and see how much damage it does, and then we're going to take a look at the then we're going to take a look at the damage that's dealt after that and figure that out. DLC should be special upgrade to trap, am I right? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, and there's one of the developers that came by Monday, and he said that these special upgrades were they were just something that they just didn't have enough ideas, I guess, to fill in. So if you guys have ideas for all the traps for special upgrades, throw them in the Discord, and I'd imagine that that they wouldn't mind adding a little bit of special upgrades to them. But right now they're only for trinkets. Okay, so we want to do this on probably Great Room. Yeah, let's go Great Room. Alright, and then we're going to bring a couple of weapons here. We're going to bring our crossbow, wind belt, acid. Since it doesn't do very much damage, that's fine. That's all? Okay. So we know the acid does 15, so whatever the acid does plus a crossbow, we know how much the crossbow does as well, but we're gonna test it on one of the medium orcs, and that's who we're gonna pull. I noticed that some weapons are really buggy. Sometimes when I hit an enemy, nothing happens. Sword staff, and it's horrible. Yeah, it can be. It can be not very good. You can get pretty unlucky with it. So let's just special upgrades that are balanced for every trap. Petition for them to add it, and they might just, yeah, you might just, it might cause more bugs, you know, just something you always gotta worry about. Okay, so regular shot, we'll see how much that does. That's that easy. I don't think they're resistant. Actually, they're not resistant, but I just want to make sure that that hasn't changed yet. They could have nerfed the damage for the crossbow. Did they nerf the damage for the crossbow? I thought that was supposed to be 27. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not remembering that one correct. Pick them up. Yeah, pick them up. Right mouse button on the wind belt. All right, we're gonna retry it. This time we're gonna lay the acid down and take them over to it. If you click right mouse button the second time, you toss them. But if you switch to another thing on your toolbar, then it'll just drop him where he stands. Yeah, we're about to find out what acid does for damage buff, because we need to know that in order to test the duration for the secondary, since the upgrade didn't seem to work. Oh, no, come back. There we go. Okay. It looks like he may have actually gotten hit twice by that trap, so maybe they can get affected twice. They've got like, what, 80 health, I think? We'll see. But it's just going to be the damage left over. His trap damage is separate from weapon damage on Endless. Yeah, so damage dealt is 33, damage from traps is 12. Which also doesn't make sense because it's 15. Water would be a cool elemental. Yeah, I wish they would add it back in. And fire ogres. I'd like to see fire ogres. Okay, so Why would an orc only take 12 damage from the acid sprayer when it's 15 damage? Unless orcs are resistant to acid. Also notice that I can play every weekly challenge as we speak. Nope. Yeah, weekly challenges are open to everybody. We had one shot, so it was 14, right? It's more than that. Because doubling it would be 28. No, there's no shield on it. Not in the beginning of Endless. They're all War Mage difficulty. It almost looks like it took 2 ticks, though. Let's try that again. So I'm gonna throw him and then set the acid a little bit farther away so we can get a better idea.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
I guess I could use a light orc as well, but let's use a medium.
Here they come.
I mean, orcs aren't resistant to anything, right? So having them resistant to acid might make sense. They got green skin, right?
In our rift room.
Not like Ninja Turtles.
They're entering the rift.
All right, toss him. Place the trap. Watch him walk over it. Hopefully we don't lose by then.
We only have half our rift points
Hit him once.
Our rift is
Huh.
failing.
Speed of the damage dealt to your expo plus acid trap. 33 minus 12 is 21. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I was looking at damage total. I wasn't considering that. Let's take a look again. Alright, alright. We got similar numbers. Yeah, 15 is the DPS. Not flat damage. I think it's a flat damage. Because I tested on the Earth Elemental and it only did 15 and it didn't seem to do any damage over time. The Earth Elemental doesn't have any weaknesses or resistance to elementals or element damage in particular. Whereas orcs are supposed to take bonus damage from all elements, right? So assuming that they kept it the same. Because it says they're weak against arcane and elements, just in general. It doesn't specifically say anything about arcane, but arcane was added in later on. Or not arcane, I'm sorry, acid. Acid, I mean. So I guess the acid trap does different damage each hit. 15, 12, 14, and 15. Yeah. I deal 15 only if hit dead on center. Yeah, maybe. One of the things we can do is just do the Earth Elemental, and then test it on him again. Since he gave us the number we were thinking we were gonna get. So it looks like Melt does 50% bonus. Yeah, agreed. We'll test it once more, and then we'll accept the 50% bonus. Alright, I need the empty risk roll.
Yes, I'm ready.
Could also just hit 10 people with the acid trap, take the average.
Enemies are
Well, I want to make sure they're affected the same. If Time Master's correct, and it does depend on if they hit the center or not, then that could be a thing. Also, it seems like the projectiles that come out of the acid trap don't affect all of the orcs. Because earlier we saw an orc that was standing in front of another orc. They were walking in, and the orc in front, who was closest to the trap, didn't get affected by the acid, or at least they didn't get the what looked like the acid debuff.
enemies at the rift. They're entering the rift.
Also, the visuals for the acid debuff, when you get the increased duration for the debuff itself, doesn't seem to work. It like went away right away
Our enemies in our rift.
after 3 seconds, so it like reduced it by 3 instead of adding by 3, or whatever they were trying to add. Okay.
Almost there. More enemies in the rift. We only have half our rift.
Alright, so we gotta do 2 things here. We gotta do this once to get the crossbow damage on the Earth Lord. We gotta do it again with the acid damage with the crossbow on the Earth Lord.
More enemies on the way.
So make sure we get those numbers right. From all my testing, the crossbow has not changed. It doesn't change its damage amount. It's the same, no matter what. Okay. Poked him. Now we wait. 'Cause yeah, this melting duration seems to reduce it. And this reduced cooldown even more didn't seem to actually take it past 17. So it could be that these are 0.5 seconds. Does that make sense? 19 to 18 to 18.5 and then 18 and then 17.5 maybe? So that'd be like the worst thing to ever spin your skulls on. I thought this was going to be a little bit more straightforward. Okay, stats. Okay, so we did 7 damage. So he takes half. He takes half. Okay. Physical. So that means that if we hit him again, he should take, if it's buffing it by 50%, it either removes the negative modifier, having him take full damage, or it's just going to be a bonus of 50% from the 7. And I guess that's another good thing to figure out how they calculate that.
Enemies at the rift. They're entering the rift.
Pull out through that group of goons.
There are enemies in our rift room. They're almost there.
Yeah, special upgrades would be a great to incentivize certain playstyles. Traps. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if the special upgrades were themed with the traps, you know. So if like it was like an ice theme, then it would say, you know, I don't know,
We only have half our rift points remaining.
and 15 heroes. Yeah, yeah, couldn't imagine. I probably wouldn't, you know. It would take forever at least. Certain ones, certain playstyles, right? Do a 3 trap max challenge on scramble. And then did nothing but weapons and trinkets. We gotta pull him out. The thing is we can't actually like hurt the other guys because then they're gonna mess up our numbers. Generally, if I'm testing either the trap or the weapon, I can do this, but there we go. Make sure we don't lose to the orcs either. We can't do any damage to them. Oh, there's an earthling. I didn't know there were earthlings on this. Oh, come back, come back. Okay. Alright, let's hit him. So that one looks like it did like 2 ticks of it. Right? It looks like it did 2 ticks of damage. Meaning the projectile, the longer it lasts, the more chance it has to do more damage to an enemy. But for 1 tick, it does 15 damage. So there should have been 2 ticks there for 30 damage. And then the rest of it's going to be the weapon. Damage taken 50. Okay. Oh, so it's only 15 from traps then. Oh, that's taken. Dealt 26. Okay, so was that 11 damage from crossbow? Yeah, so it's a 50% damage increase, and it doesn't remove their resistance at all. It just adds plus 50% damage after the 50% reduction. That's how that works. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so we know that melt. We know what melt does, so we're gonna make a page for it. I don't know why that orc didn't take 15 damage though, but it could be that he just wasn't getting hit by the full projectile, full force of the projectile. Do we know if this is a universal damage bonus or just for physical damage? It's the tooltip says it's just for physical damage that the melt effect buffs. Because Arcane is for all of the other sources of damage, for all of the elemental stuff. Buff bow arcane staff to make him to placeable from a distance. Not sure what that means. Tooltip for melt? Oh, I don't know where to find that actually, but they did come out with it. Melt 3? Oh, you know what? It might be in the Discord. Hang on. Going to discussion, probably? Yeah. Look up melt. Juice may have had the official verbiage. Oh, here it is. The acid geyser provides a new acid damage type that causes orcs to die totally new ways. Blase. The melt status effect applies to enemies hit by acid, which increases physical damage taken while the status effect is on. So this says it's only for physical damage. Now we are gonna test the ice with it as well, because the ice also does physical damage. It should be another 50% for that. Secondary fire for the arcane staff targeted. Oh, okay. Walk-in would be a cool addition as well. The PB AoE effect. It's not kind of trash. Yeah, so if the range is like what it says it is, and it's actually 3 squares, it just doesn't have very good accuracy on that 3rd square. So it's really hard to tell if this is true. But that's what the data says is that that's there. So acid spewed is projectiles can miss. Can I ask something about specific weapon blade staff? Yes. Yes, it's a bug. If you have the Overlord blade staff, you need to unlock the regular blade staff for that to upgrade. Otherwise, it won't upgrade if you don't have the Overlord blade staff. The Overlord blade staff was a pre-order skin for the staff. But they are aware of it, and they're working on the fix. Okay. So we had that. Now the weird thing we don't have is cooldown and the melting duration, because those seem to be a little bit off. So let's go ahead and take a look. We got the melting duration on, and we got the cooldown on. So let's take another look here at this one on this map. Might be a little bit easier. Jigsaw, how's it going? It might be easier to tell on the Earth board what it is. Of course. Because it could just be the animation, right? And that's what we're here to test. We kind of need to give it, what, 6 seconds at least? So I'm going to go and actually start recording. We need to see if it still does the bonus damage after the thing is off. After the graphics have shown that acid is off. Alright, first group through.
Enemies at the rift. There are enemies in our rift room. They're almost
would be nice to have some kind of option to not have to hit G for the continue. Like a continue wave thing.
On another front. Look out! Our defenses have been breached again.
If you're wondering about the music, we just have it in the background. I'm gonna alt tab from time to time, and that'll turn the music off. So we just wanted to make sure that we can run the music. I hope I can last long enough for this. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that there. We're gonna see.
Enemies at the rift. Stop them quickly.
Yeah, I think that's not working. Okay.
The rift has been
I don't think that's working. It only took like 3 seconds. And then I did the damage. Let's see how much damage I did. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. It only did 9 damage from traps. Huh. I guess he hit the corner of it, so he didn't take the full thing. But he should have taken the 11 damage from the shot, which he didn't take. Trippin' Turtle! What's going on? Alright, let's load it up here, just to make sure. Make sure we're not crazy. It's not going to be until like a little bit later. At least. Okay, so when did he get the green goop? Right there? Okay. And then the green goop turns off. It didn't even last very long, huh? Here. It's about 3 seconds. So, yeah. So it looks like this is actually, minus 3 seconds. That's unfortunate. I think it's probably a bug. Something in the coding. It's not right. 3 seconds. Zayok. Okay, chat guys, I want y'all to tell me what to use for the cost of all traps or increase kill streak reward coin. Oh, reduce. If you want an easier time, reduce cost of all traps. Okay, so let me go ahead and let Juice know about that one. Okay. Reduce. I'd say reduce. Yeah, reduce is better because you get to start with more traps. And now I'm on round 32. Good to hear that, Emil. DPS not good. It's not. It's really not. It's probably one of the worst DPS things there is on Endless. That's awesome. Okay, so that's not working correctly, and I think the cooldown. Oh wait, let me. Do we get the cooldown to the trap? So it triggered. When did it trigger? About right here, right? Well, that's when he took the green. So if we assume when he took the green was the thing. Did I cut that out? Yeah, we did. We ran back over. It's going to be probably around 19 seconds. Takes us to the beginning. So it came back around right around there is when it showed back up, and the door should have closed. That was the end of it. So it went a little bit longer than that, and that is 17. So yeah, this cooldown doesn't seem to be working either. Well, it doesn't count the duration of the thing, so it would have been. Can we call it 16 seconds? No, we can't call it 16. It doesn't even turn green yet. 16. Well, I guess the duration for the fountain is a second, right? It's supposed to be. What's this? Well, either I don't know how to read this, and that secondary status effect duration. Okay, hang on. Duration of the trap itself. Did we just mess something up? Or did the trap mess up? I have so many flowers. Yeah, flowers are a really good way to do that. Alright. Let's go into here. Let's check our first number. Check our first number here. And then the duration of the trap as well. Sony Vegas for the win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, indeed. Okay. Now we don't really care about the damage anymore, so we can just use it on whoever.
All right, let's play.
All we care about is the duration of the acid sprayer and the cooldown. Wanna watch you play? We'll be playing some serious games in about 3 to 4 hours.
They've broken through a gate.
And I'll change the stream name and everything for that. Okay. Start spraying and it goes away. So that's the spray duration. And it just takes so long.
Enemies at the
Boom. Okay, now it sprays again. So the doors have to close, and it looks like there's a bit of a graphical bug because the doors didn't remain open again. The doors have to close for it to trigger again, so that's the official cooldown. Okay. Oh, there's baby bird feathers flying everywhere. Good Lord. Alrighty. Wow, that's so terrible. Yeah, it's a long cooldown. It is long. I made a psh sound, so I'm looking for that in the audio here. When it triggered. Okay. Right there is when it triggered. Okay. Which key? When you jump, you just press jump again, and then it makes them fall down and sleep and avoid all sorts of things. Trap was added with the drastic steps. No, this trap was added with the official release of the game. Okay. And it sprays and stops spraying. So that is the, what, is that the official end of the spray right there? Right there. Okay. So spray itself. 2 seconds. Okay. So that needs to go to 2 seconds. Alright, now for the cooldown of the trap. Sprays 2 seconds. We pick it back up as soon as it triggers again. Let's see. I mean, it's level 1. You probably have more if you're actually using it. Emil, are you showing all the traps in the video? Yes. Later on, once I get the wiki kind of updated, then yes. Okay, so this is about when it triggers the second time. And for this we get, okay, now we get 17 seconds here. It's closer to 17. That's when the doors close. And we don't know if it can trigger again until the ogre steps on it. Which is when it triggers again. So 17 and a half. Emil, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate it indeed. So what do I need to test this? I need Stadia to test this, really, to be honest. Is this wiki for the devs? It's for you guys. For you guys. But we're finding stuff out about this stuff with the devs. like this increased melting duration actually reduces it instead of increases it. Where can I find the aqueduct map? It is, yeah, we're gonna hop back in and see. So I think we got either 17 and a half or 17 seconds on this, which is not the number we had before. We need a map that has a lot of enemies where I won't lose right away. Should have been 3 plus 3 seconds, probably, yeah. But it looks like it's reduced. I'll show you here in a second, Grundlos. So we got 17 or 17.5 seconds for that. Okay. The wiki might end up useful to the devs too. Yeah, apparently. Very annoyed. Level 2 on drastic steps. It is. It is right here. And you're at the main campaign. You have to beat the entire regular campaign, and then you can go over to drastic steps and play it. Aqueducts is the second map. Or if you go into endless, I think you have to beat it first on regular, and then you can play it on Aqueducts endless. It's the very last endless map. There for you. Okay, so what map has a good chunk of enemies coming out always? Lava Pits does, right? Yeah, let's try here. We'll go here. Orcs Masters Courtyard. The ogres really said, nah, bro, and broke a barricade they could fit. Okay. Yeah, it seems like there could be a lot more info and trap damage. Kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, we don't have all the information, but it'd be nice, I guess. Okay. Now, I think this will give us a pretty accurate depiction of how long it actually takes. This game ought to make new maps and freaking updates. It made new maps on Stadia with the Jurassic Steps. And the Steam release included new traps and some other things reworked. We used the wind belt somewhat to help with our testing for individual damage and individual stuff. I got motive fill in the wiki. Need more help documenting the game, by the way. Depends on what you want to do. I got Serena Lionsong, who assists, generally assists with the heroes. 150 years ago in the infamous year 1871. Alright, we're gonna let it trigger twice more. I didn't click record. Just once. Probably, maybe Bracades. I don't know. There are updates, yeah. There are updates planned. Okay. We just saw it again, so that's good. Alright, we got our two triggers that we can link everything up in, and let's give it another look. It was around a corner, so it couldn't fit. Yep. And that's how it happens. Alright, as soon as it sprays is where we want to gank it. It's about right there. And then when it starts, is where we want to start it at. So we'll see the duration of the cooldown. Essentially minus the 1 second that it takes to spew. So right there, it looks like. Yeah, now we got 19 seconds. How does score work? We got 71 and go at 20 million points. Most of your score is going to be done with combos, so you want to make sure that you bring traps that kind of complement each other, different sources of damage and all that. Gravity Pillar is pretty good because airborne enemies take double damage. So if you pull them up with a Gravity Pillar and you kill them with something in the air, then yeah, you can do a lot of damage that way. Apwa says, I want to buy the game, I just don't want to get old quick. Okay. So we've got about 19 seconds on that. It's really a little bit longer than that, looks like. 19... Really 19 and a half, essentially. Should be like right here. 19. Yeah, we can't really see that frame, can we? Yeah, we can't. So that shows 19 and a half seconds. So earlier we got 17 and a half seconds. Now we got 19 and a half seconds. Yeah, 19.5 here. Why are we getting such random numbers? We're gonna retry. The game can be completed in 3 days. I mean, I completed it in less than that. But it just depends on how much dedication you have. Okay, let's try it again. I think combos makes a lot of points. Yeah, combos are the vast majority of your score. It would be interesting if it does longer activations on more scenarios. Like longer cooldowns? Yeah, maybe. Or if it's random, maybe it's on like a scale where it's like sometimes it does 17, sometimes it's 19. I don't know. We're not getting accurate numbers here. I was hoping this would be an easy one because we got to move on to the next one. Now the arrow wall hasn't changed from what I can tell, so we're not gonna really touch that one, but because the information we have is the same information that I found before. All right, sprays. We're done. It's nice that they're taking turns. Spray. Let's go ahead and get another spray in there, and we'll check 2 of them at once.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
Sprays. Okay. Round 40 now. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. It might be RNG. We'll see. So we already have 2 different numbers that are both pretty high. So let's find out. We just did 2 of them. Okay, so about right here. About right here. About like right there. Okay. That's when the trap was about to activate, and then it activated. And then sprays again here. The orc looks like he's taking damage like almost right before it. Okay, that gives us 19 and a half again. Okay, so we got 19 and a half on that one. Then we get, where's the last spray here? Just sprayed in this area. Am I gonna play endless later? Yeah, we could either do endless or scramble or whatever. Or co-op if somebody wants to co-op. Just I need different traps. There's a physics traps on sled shelves. Do everything into the acid, which is why, yeah, you gotta use different types of traps, different elements and stuff to get combo. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, we got another 19 and a half. So I'm pretty confident that it's a 19 and a half now, because we got that earlier, and I don't know how we got the 17 and a half thing going. But it looks like we got that 2 times in a row. That's pretty accurate for at least 3 times I'm testing. But that's after the 1 second spray duration, right? Was it 2 second spray? 2 seconds, right? Yeah, it's like a 2 second spray duration. Hasn't sprayed yet. Sprayed like right here. Stop spraying. Well, it's not fully a 2 second. I don't know. It really just depends on when they're not affected by it anymore. It's kind of hard to tell because it's also a projectile that can miss. Is it worth hoping, or even in the far future, for 3-4 player games versus modes? I mean, Yeah, I would say that it's probably the acid plus cold damage. We're gonna find out here in a second. If acid and freeze work in tandem, which they should, but we'll find out. You know, I think the player base has to be really big for co-op to even exist in a game like this. So we'll see. I mean, it's on the latter end of this, but I wonder what we call this. No, the duration is definitely more than 1.5. Somewhere between like 1.5 and 2. I think it's closer to 2 for the projectiles to go down. So I guess it's when the thing opens, right? Oh, it didn't open on this one. So it's about 2-second thing there. So it's going to be 17 and a half after the 2-second duration. Because the infinite's not fully there. No, the new stuff hasn't been updated yet. And some of the old stuff has changed, but not very much of it. For the most part, the wiki is correct for the most part. Acid and cold and some other stuff being physical damage. Yeah, if you do Saw Blade Launcher, and that's probably like the best physical damage trap or damage trap in general, and then you could put acid and freeze with it. Okay, so we've got 17.5, and this is cooldown. Oh, I put that in the wiki word. Go to, and then when do you think OMD3 will come out? I think it's going to be 2 years before they even would announce something like OMD3. Okay, so this should be 17.5. Okay, let's get one upgrade, and we're going to test that again and see what happens with it. It's just one cooldown upgrade. Hope they have more lore. Yeah, it's not very lore heavy. I guess, I mean, there's a story to it. It's not super lore heavy. Alright. So recording. Speaking of wiki, I was doing some small edits on it yesterday, some grammar and stuff. There's a header icon on the browser ICO aren't updated. You have admin theme privileges for that? The header icon in the browser ICO? I don't think so. I don't have that. I think the most I can do is stuff that you can do. But I do appreciate it. Okay. For whatever reason, sometimes the valve stays open, and sometimes it stays closed. Like the second spray might stay closed on that, which is maybe odd. I get a hold of whoever the admin page. I'll just leave through my barricades. Run, yeah. Fortunate. Okay, so it stayed open this time. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. I will get one more spray off of it. Is happy with the sales performance of the game? I have no idea. It's a good question to ask Juice on Discord or maybe Reddit or even Twitter. Orcs Die games in the future. Yeah, me too. It looks like it's a little bit faster because last time we only had a few orcs left over, and this time we have a handful more like orcs left over. So let's take a look at what the cooldown shows us. There we got a pretty accurate 17.5, which is after the 2-second spew duration, which is probably around 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds, somewhere between there. Okay. So let's up a little bit. Watch the orcs on the mini map here. Close. The game's been #1 selling on Steam for a couple days now. It's positive. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's good. He actually takes damage as he steps on it. Right? Look at that. See that? His health is going down a little bit as he's stepping over the trap. I wonder if it has some damage mitigation on it as well, similar to the dart spitter. That's why it looks like they've maybe taken like more than one tick of damage, kind of thing. It's good publicity. Yeah, it is. Because bad luck mitigation is on the dart spitter, so if you don't actually get hit by a dart, you still take like a small amount of damage in the area. So I wonder if this is the same kind of thing. But you can see the damage mitigation in the information that we have. So I'm not sure. Okay, it's about right there. So now we're looking at about 18.5 seconds is what that one is. Okay, so let's see if we get 18.5 for the next one. Should be around here. Yeah, okay. So it kicks it down by a second. Okay. Wait. 16. No, that'd be 6. No, it's yeah. By 1 second. 16.5. Try to trap mage tower. The green debuff is hard to see when the orcs are green. Better use it. I think it's easy enough. They kind of like get like a weird discoloration on like all their armor and everything. Plus we're not looking for that right now. We're looking for the that one we used for the increased melting duration, and we ended up using the earth elemental on wave 2 of close quarters because we were trying to test the damage as well, and it looks like this melting duration is broken. House flipper is so good. You mean the giant flip trap? So, okay, so it looks like it goes down by a second. If I had to guess, I'd say it goes down by another second. I don't know how we weren't getting these numbers before, but we weren't. So, I've got a better understanding, and hopefully we can move on from the acid geyser. But we are going to test ice plus acid here pretty soon, once we can get this acid geyser figured out. The game? Oh, I don't know. Are you getting into house flipping there, Zaya? Can I flip some houses? I heard it's pretty profitable. See if it's higher duration war scenarios. We'll get the last upgrade, see what we get in the war scenarios, and then we will. We can throw it into a regular game, regular map. I'm thinking Master's Courtyard. It has quite a few guys come out. We can use your stone staff to help with it, help keep everything there. Earth Elemental only takes 50 damage from acid. They should take 100 from acid. They should take all of it. Does it affect duration? No. Well, we tested it on the Earth Element or the Earth Lord, and we got 6 seconds, and then we got the upgrade, and then we tested it on the Earth Lord again, and we got 3 seconds. So, unfortunately, that's what we used to test it on the first time for the duration. But in his tooltip, he doesn't say that he takes any less damage from acid. The Earth guy. He takes reduced physical damage though. But we already calculated the damage that he took from that, and it was a plus 50% bonus after after resistance is taken into effect or into account. Okay, so looks like we may even have more orcs left over from this, so that's a good sign. Got our 2 triggers. So 39 hours into House Flipper. Like design sims. I like House Flipper. Oh, there you go. Like the Sims. This is where it opens. He kind of looks like he's about to take the damage here, and then that's when it opens. He's like, I'm falling. On the OMD Wiki owner. Oh, nice. Yeah, he should have more information. Like standing on my leg, but I'm wearing shorts, and so he's like digging his talons into my skin. Hurts. Hurting my feelings, bud. Okay, this is it's pretty short. That's like an animation of him getting hurt as well. So let's take a look at this. Oh, Vin, thanks for the sub, appreciate it. Here we've got 17.5. Look at that. So kicked it down, and it's minus 2 seconds. Of course, so that's 15 and a half. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. We're just going to say 14.5 because there's no other reason it would be anything different. Seconds. Plus, we're going to go test out on a regular map to make sure that we are correct in this 14.5 seconds. Is it an orc? Yeah. Is it an orc on the wiki? Thanks. I'm probably going to debate. Gotcha. Talking about house flip. Okay. Cool. And then we'll go ahead and check one more. Since we have the footage, we might as well check it. The sprayer for the second time. We're looking at around 17 and a half. And there we go. We got it. Got it, boys. Okay. Let's test one more time. The reduced cooldown. Make sure that we get 14.5 seconds. That's what we're supposed to be seeing once we get this upgrade once more. And we'll use the other thing. So, for this one, we need enough minions to trigger it twice, at least. And, oh, Secret Fortress might actually give us that. Are there enough minions there that come out to do this one? Like, consecutively? I think so. Secret Fortress should probably give us what we need. I have this is my first, and I really enjoy it, but I'm on console. Yep. You know, maybe I should have placed that after the ogre went through it. Let's do that. Because I don't want him to trigger it, and then that'd be a problem. Also, grab the empty rift scroll just in case we need it.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
Interesting. We're stuck. Dang it. All right, I gotta retry that. The bird got stuck. Hang on. Okay. All right. He got stuck and I got distracted, so let's try that again. You know what? You might be right. I think there is something for that. Is it gameplay? Maybe gameplay. Or visibility loadout. Yes. Nearby health bars. But again, I think acid may have a damage mitigation on it.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
All right.
Nope, I can't. We destroyed a barricade.
No, it didn't trigger right away. Okay, well we got one of them. I think that might be good enough. All right, so we got one of those. Let's test it. We're looking for 14.5. Let's see if that's what we get. Triggers right away. He's even taking damage like as it's placing. See that? Just a little minor amount of damage, and then it explodes and does like more damage. I don't know. It's pretty weird, isn't it? Okay, well, this is when it triggers, so that's that. Let's see when it kind of comes up again. We're looking for 14.5. Let's go to 14.5 then. Let's see, did it trigger already? No, not yet. Or no, we're looking for 16.5 here. Oh, there it is. Matter of fact, it's like right before that. Oh, there's 16.5 right there. Yep. Okay, cool. So that is correct. It goes down to 14.5 seconds every time. It's good, yeah, especially with it with something that doesn't have any negatives to it. So, all right, finally we got done with this. Okay, damage amount's 15. It is projectiles, which we have listed there. Pronounced Geyser. If you're me, Geyser, if you know what they even are, and Goozer if you're Canadian. Sprays AoE acid fountain damaging enemies and applying acid effects. This is from the tooltip, so I'll put quotes around that. And then acid spewed are projectiles and can miss. Good. The trigger range, 2 squares, projectile, 3 wide. Game cost 700. Check Discord. Okay. Sweet. Tick interval. Pull it up here. Trigger duration is 1. Okay. Trigger delay is 0.5. I just tested it. It was like more than 1. Okay, 700. Huh. Maybe just the animation was longer than a second, but like... But the actual effect is only 1. Then will cost 7. It's when an acid geyser. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So officially, duration is 1 second. So that means that the increased duration is probably only going to go up by a second because we saw it at 3 seconds, but we also saw the duration initially at 2 seconds, which means it goes down to 1 second. That is, there's no modifiers to that information, then yeah, that would be what you see here. Taking interval's 25 though, and the duration's 1, so it's 4 ticks. But it doesn't seem to affect the same guy twice, because they've only taken 15 damage max. Oh, reset delay 17.5. That's on there. Cooldown is 18. Ah, okay. So, what we're seeing right here is the reset delay. We're not seeing the cooldowns. The cooldown's technically 18 then. And that goes down by. Okay, I'll go ahead and change that then. Alright. Cool, good to know. That'll be pretty helpful for everything else, all the other traps or whatnot. Okay, well, we got pretty close. So we're doing the testing right. Until that works. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Actually, is there projectile range on there? Let's see one on there. Cost 7 skulls. That's the other thing I was gonna 7 skulls to Alright, let's take a look at acid plus ice. See how much damage it does. Chrome is earth. Alright, let's put some ice in here. And we're going to do that with the ice amulet. Increase freeze duration. Okay. What do we test this on? An orc? Yeah, we need damage, so we gotta go endless. Okay. Go in a great room. Then we need, yeah, the empty risk scroll to make sure we don't lose right away. We need this bad boy. Go ahead and switch some stuff around here. Traps, acid, trinkets, rift. Okay. So our damage is 14. We know that. Let's just verify that this is 50% damage bonus on orcs.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
And we want, we could actually use a light orc for this. Okay. So we shot him once in the belly, and it looks like it did more because they got 50 health. We'll use a light orc for testing. The acid, or the,
In our rift room.
ice amulet doesn't do any damage.
They're entering the rift. Enemies at the rift. We only have half our rift points remaining.
I guess I probably should have not brought the empty rift. Because now I gotta wait for the next wave. Deep freeze acid is worth it. No, I think the deep freeze extra range is worth it. It's got a lot of range to it. But we're about to see the difference between acid and ice with in regards to physical damage. Which I'm pretty sure they're both 50% bonus. But
Almost there.
wrong about things before. But for my testing from earlier, they should be the same. 50% still. Okay, so 14 damage is base for the crossbow. See how much damage we did? 19. Yep, so 28 would be the middle. That's 5 bonus damage. 14, that's not quite. It's not quite. It's not quite 50%, is it? 7 would be 50%. That's a spitter, dart spitter. Oh. How do we get healing done if we didn't take any damage? Okay. Let's try that again. So we got 19 for the ice amulet. They may have changed that. So we're going to shoot him once, see what damage that does. And again, should not have brought the empty rift scroll. Unless the crossbow's like 14 and we're doing like 19.5, but it doesn't show us a decimal, that's closer. Unless expo's like 13 and a half and we're getting 19 and a half. Not showing us a decimal. Oh, I forgot to set a link backwards. Get back. Page. Hey, strange pop. Just sub. Appreciate the sub. Alright. The damage cap because I used it. It melts on half health. It just doesn't. Yeah, I may have a damage cap at 15 because we were seeing 15 on the Earth Lord, and the Earth Lord moves really slow, so he would essentially take full damage as he crosses it. Yeah, so it's 14 to the light orc, and we're doing 19 when we add ice to it, which is less than 50%. Okay, now we're gonna run that on the light orc for acid now. Acid light orc crossbow combo, and then we're gonna do acid ice crossbow combo, and we're gonna see what our end numbers are there.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down. Here they come. There are enemies in our rift room.
Yeah.
They're entering the rift. We only have half our rift points
So he's got 50 health. If he takes 15 damage from the acid, and then
Hold them back.
additional damage from that shot I just made.
More enemies on the way.
What are we expecting the shot to do? Another 19?
Enemies are attacking on another front. Look out.
Probably 21, right?
Fortresses have been breached.
21 should be 50% bonus.
They're almost
Again, unless we're dealing with decimal places, which is
our rift.
unfortunately possible. Did 18 damage this time. Okay. That's weird. If it has a damage cap, then the damage cap may be 18. 21 damage. Does 14. Well, that gives us our 50%. Right? Huh. So the melt is plus 50% physical, but the ice isn't anymore? Yeah, the acid's still 50%. But what is the ice now then? Was that 40% bonus? 35? Okay. I trust you guys know how to do math. Okay, so if ice is 35 and we're looking to melt 50, let's add them together and see what we get. I know this can go one of two ways. You can do the 50% and then the 35 from that, or the 35 and then the 50, or it could just add them together.
They've broken through a gate.
Right? That makes sense. Probably doesn't. Okay.
Here they
So we got this. Do this. As soon as he walks over here. Cool.
They're almost there.
85%. That'd be absolutely broken. Well, we're gonna find out, but it looks like it did more damage. So
There are enemies.
it looks to me visually that it's a lot more. Is bleed physical? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we can test bleed now, huh? But I don't know if bleed was ever calculated correctly. I guess we could have always tested bleed though, because
Another door.
let's find out. Let's find out if bleed's physical damage. Now that we actually have acid, which is a much maybe an easier way to do damage. Find out.
Enemies at the rift. The rift has been compromised. Are we done already?
I guess we wouldn't know how they're applied or not. Okay, so 47 damage. Chap did 20, leaving us 27. which is about 85%, right? Because we had the additional 5 damage. Instead of 5, it's an additional 6. So we've got the plus 50% damage here, which gives us a 21. Plus the other 6, which gives us a 27. So these definitely do stack. Ice and Melt stack. That's pretty cool. But I think that one of them is applied before the other one. Which is how we get that 6 instead of the number 5 added to it. Not sure. But it does stack. We know that, and these numbers are accurate. Until we have the official files, we won't know for certain, but that's cool. So that's good to know. And then we can test bleed with a longbow. With and without the primary attack bleeds enemies on hit and see what the difference is. And then combo that with ice, I guess, now that we know it's 35%. %92.8% damage doesn't seem to be multiplicative. I would have guessed 2.025. Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess too, but I guess it's just additive, right? One applies and then the other one takes the full amount from that. Dakota, what does Obichos mean? It is my old name for this channel. And it doesn't mean anything in particular. It was just a randomly generated name from a game I used to play called EverQuest 2. Okay, so either way, if we freeze it or if we do the other one, then it's going to count as more. It's going to be additive, which should be 85. Right. I do the math here, yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're probably not going to know, like, officially until we get, like, more game files for that. Alright. So that does, what, 25 damage? Something like that, 26? Should lose round 1 now, since I took off the empty risk scroll. We'll check it, we'll throw bleed on it, see what bleed does. I'm just not sure that bleed is calculated in the damage for the stat screen. You should taking the percentage of the asset before taking percentage of ice. Okay, it's 22. Oh, freeze and hit him once. No, we'll do bleed first. And make sure that bleed is calculated. Unless it's still 22, and then... I don't know. I thought they had bleed in Unchained, and I thought it was based upon the enemy's movement speed. The farther they moved, the more damage they would take. If I remember correctly. In Unchained. I'm not sure they would change that here. Okay, so bleed is added on later on. We're gonna kill a light orc with it, so we probably want to actually go with the medium orc. Should do the same damage though, either way. They just have different health pools. Yeah, because now we're doing 40, so we went from 22 to 40. So the 40 is with the bleed, right? And if we're gonna do, probably gonna do ice on it to make sure we can actually like see the numbers for the medium orc. Actually, new question of mine. Well, we'll do it after this. New question of mine is, what about stone staff? Because that was used to be 50% with ice, but maybe not anymore.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
Oh, we actually don't want you.
Here they come.
We want medium orc.
They're almost there.
Okay.
They're entering the rift. We only have half our rift
Shot him in the knee.
remaining.
Okay. Find out.
Hold them back. More enemies.
He's frozen for a long time too. So if he takes more than 40, then yes, bleed maybe. Well, no, and we'll find out. Alright, so he took 52 damage. I do not think that bleed is physical. I think bleed is his own element. Because this number would have been higher. Would have been higher than 12 plus. Right? Because the 22 damage should still be... Yeah. Because well, it wouldn't be 12, would it? Because that would be half. But ice is 35% of physical. We just tested that. I really hope they didn't get super intricate with it, right? So. So if it was 35 and bleed is 40 total, we'd be looking at 14 bonus damage, which we're actually looking at 12. But it doesn't, I don't know if it'll add the... You can add 7 to this. If this is 35 of that, 35% of that damage, plus the 7, because that's 7.7. Add 7 to this, we're looking at 47, but we got 52. So the answer is I have no idea. It looks like it does some sort of extra damage, but it doesn't look like it's maybe 35%. But it really depends on the mechanics of bleed, which we don't know yet. Like I said, in Unchained, it was based upon movement speed. And how, you know, the more you move, the more bleed you take. But I don't know what it is for this. If that's the case, then freezing them and then bleeding them is less efficient than bleeding them and letting them run through. But it does some sort of bonus damage. Because this number could be different if they're just frozen and take bleed damage, but we're not going to be able to find that out because frozen also does bonus damage. Okay, what we want to find out now, let's switch back over to the crossbow, and we're going to use a stone staff. And we're going to see how much damage the crossbow stone staff combo does. Cows, I just want to make sure that it's the same. Oh, I didn't do the crossbow. Okay. And I will say one of the other things I've noticed when doing this is it almost seems like there are some like ranges, some damage ranges of some of the traps and weapons and stuff. And that could also be the case. Like for example, if the longbow does anywhere between 22 and 24 damage, that kind of thing, then it's A, going to be harder to calculate, and B, it's just I don't remember ever seeing any different numbers showing up every time I've tested weapons.
More enemies
All right, but let's find out the stone plus physical, what that looks like. 19. Okay, so we got the same. We got the same. Ice and stone is plus 15. Plus 15 or 35% damage. I mean, so there you have it. I will throw that into the official Discord for regular stuff. The brittle enemies take 35 extra physical damage. Yes. Yes, I knew they took extra physical damage. I think ice and stone both used to be 50. Iced, frozen enemies also take bonus ice damage. It's probably going to be another 35% on that one. Brittled, stoned enemies only take extra physical, but frozen takes extra physical and extra ice damage. And that would be... Can brittle stack stone plus ice? I don't think so, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, but I think the damage is rounded down per operator. I think ice debuff first, then rounds down, then melt debuffs.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
Okay.
They've broken through a gate.
Smash out 18.
Here they come.
That looked like it. We'll find out. Because they don't have the animation of both, or they don't have like the visual representation of both ice and stone at the same time. So 27, which is the number we're looking for.
They're entering the rift.
Ah, okay.
We only have half our rift points remaining.
So you want acid to hit first, then ice to take effect, right? That's what we had actually in our test. We had acid happen first, and as soon as he was hit by acid, I used my freeze. Yeah, so it's probably the other way around. You probably want freeze first and then acid to trigger. 24 damage. Oh yeah, look at that. It does. They do stack. I was supposed to do 14 damage. And then with the 35% bonus physical, it'll go up by 5, right? Taking us to 19. Now it goes up to another 5, taking us to 24. They do stack. I don't know why I didn't think they did, but I mean, they could have changed stuff. Yeah, because he took acid first, and then he took and then we froze him. So ice and stone aren't the same brittle. No, I didn't think they would be, because ice also takes bonus damage from ice, and stone only takes bonus damage from physical. So they would have had to have two different name functions or whatever for them. So that way they could use both. Stone staff over the ice amulet's actually more viable. Well, yeah, overall it's a little bit easier. It kind of depends on the setup, but I generally just take the stone staff anyways. I knew that this was a thing. Investicide. Appreciate the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's cool though. That you might be right about that math there, Mason. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe put that into the wiki here for some of the information we've got. We don't yet have anything on melt, I think. But let's find out. So let's go back to side 3. Click here. Go into combat. Go into elements arcane. Okay, I'm gonna throw that here. You trying grid scores on Steam? Yeah, a developer popped into the chat Monday, and I told him about it and asked him if we could have it back. So I think they're gonna hopefully add it back in. Okay, and then I would say the testing was with acid flying first, then ice. Okay. Let's say it runs on each time for the ice and stone test as well. Yep. Okay. There you go. Okay. Let's see here. I actually said that the damage of modifiers won't be any better. This is actually not true anymore. A damage type isn't affect stunned enemies. Like frozen enemies take bonus physical over not from ice. You can have a stoned and frozen enemy combos and bonus physical damage. Run down to 18. Okay. I'm gonna throw that in there as well, actually. That will give us some good information for this combat portion. Cool. That should help new players and everybody else, I guess. That is the case. Let's see here. True resistance 50%. Everyone's 2 times. If that's the case, then we might be able to find the highest amount of damage possible for a trap. Because I've done this before where I used yeah, let's do that, okay? Let's do that real quick. Acid doesn't actually seem to do damage over time, right? So it's just like whenever they were on the trap, they took a little bit of damage, but they didn't take any damage over time. At least in that trigger of acid, so I don't think that's the case. I think it does create the melting effect, though. The damage buffs. These. Honestly. More effective. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So here's how we do the highest possible damage possible. With one trigger of one thing. We have to use the crossbow. We have to use the ice amulet right mouse button. We have to use the stone staff right mouse button. We have to use the wind belt to pick them up and put them over. We also need the gravity pillar with no damage buffs. Yeah. And we're gonna need some acid. The Alk Satchel does too much damage, I think. So we're just gonna use the acid geyser. Oh, and the saw blade, these things. Oh, I don't have it upgraded, do I? Oh, I do. Yes. Increased damage to stunned enemies. Okay, check this out. You ready? It depends on the trap. It may and may not show overkill. I know this with melt. Actually might have a use for the alchemy satchel. Yeah. It depends on the trap. Some traps will show the overkill damage, some won't. Okay, so here's what we got to do. we have got to get the wind belt, and then we're going to go freeze, because that lasts longer, I think, and then stone, and then stun. And we're going to have our gravity pillar, we're going to have our acid geyser, and we're going to have our wall blades. So it'll be 35%, 35%. The stun, I don't know how much percentage that does. And this has increased damage to stun enemies as well. And then we have lift, which is 2 times, and we have acid, which is 50%. So we're going to stack all these modifiers for the wall blade to do a bucket ton of damage. We're about to find out. Now, do keep in mind it's going to be about 10 to 20 damage less because of the acid geyser from the total amount damage done. Ragdoll trap? That's what the airborne thing is. That's what the gravity pillar's for. So they take double damage when they're airborne. From what I understand, ragdolling is the same as airborne. They just haven't stood up yet. You got the exact numbers for these? Watch! What have we been doing with our lives? Okay, so here's what we need to do. Need to do this and this and this. Okay, he actually needs to step into it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, okay. Do this. Nope, nope. Okay, okay, hang on. Crossbow stuns 15%. Oh, okay. Flyers even be considered airborne for damage purposes? I don't think so. Either they I don't think they take any bonus damage if you stick them with a gravity pillar. Medium orcs have 80 HP, right? Yeah, they do. Maybe we should do with a medium. Also, I'm just gonna bring the empty risk roll so we can mess around with one orc, if we can get it to line up everything correctly there. So we're gonna toss them, then we're gonna place the traps down, and then we're gonna use our abilities. Stone is 30%. Is it? We got a 35% total, but okay. You got the numbers. Physical only, right? Oh, got a light orc. Hang on. Well, we saw the numbers show 35 for the stone. It showed the same exact numbers as it did for ice. Unless ice is 30% and there's some sort of decimal not getting rounded correctly. Alright, so we want that. We want that in the air. I want you to be pushed over for just a second so we can get some acid down here. Okay. Alright, let's see what happened there. See how much damage I calculated. Well, Time Master has the numbers. So you might end up seeing 30% of low enough damage numbers. Well, if that's the case, is ice also 30% or is it 35? Melting is 50. Yeah, we got that one.
There are enemies in our rift room. Stop them quickly. More enemies in the rift.
Right. Yeah, frozen we got 35, but it's probably also 30% if stone is 30%. Let's take a look. Look at that damage. 1,555 damage. Minus like 20 for the acid. That's crazy. That's insane. Only got score based upon how much damage we did. A lot. Yeah, so frozen enemies, we're assuming is probably 30% if stoned is 30. There are different frozens. Oh, there are. The other one is the saw blade launcher, or not the saw blade launcher. The wall blades bonus damage to stunned enemies is the other modifier we had here for this amount of damage. But do continue with that. There are different frozens, good sir. Oh, what if they stack? What if all the different frozen types stack? That'll be really difficult to test here because we only have medium orcs, and anything else that does damage is probably going to kill it. Ice aim was 30% to physical and ice, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and modify this a little bit. They do stack. Yeah, we found that out with our testing earlier. Okay. So if we did 14 times 1.30, get 18.2 and it rounds down. Yeah, I see. The other frozen is blunderbuss. So this is 30. Get 18.2. Oh. Rounds down to 18. 7. Same vulnerabilities, 30 physical and ice, okay. Are those the only two? Does does the ice dart spitter and the ice saw blade and the ice fire hose? What else? The ice wall? No, there's more of them. I would assume they keep ice pretty consistent all across the board. Yeah, that's a good question, Dakota. Oh, the deep freeze, that's what it is. Yeah, the ice wall. So this actually works better. The earlier number from ice plus melt was 27 and 14, which rounds down to 27. Times 1.5 rounds down to 27. So do you think they calculate all of it and then round it down before they go through that then? Same vulnerability, but different effects too. This physical in the description. Same with deep freeze. Okay. We can get the ice and stone test. It's 14. It's 1.3 times 1.3. We would have rounded up in that case. Different duration. Yeah, I know they're different durations. In different combo points. Because the ice dart spitter would probably be physical damage, but it also freezes the enemies, maybe. Well, I don't know, because it would change its damage type. The snowblower should only be nothing but freeze damage, though, right? Deep freeze plus Arcane plus ice dart spitters to potentially stack 3 different frozen busts. Yeah, interesting. The numbers were down 30% increase, yeah. Fusion types are frozen. Frozen 3 confirmed. Okay, so let's see. So we know that that stone is plus 30. Plus 30%. You know that ice is plus 30%. We know that physical is nothing special. And acid is plus 50%. Okay. We know that at least. And yeah, then the crossbow damage 15. So let me go into the crossbow stuff. Airborne is plus 100, right? It's double damage. Do I have it in there? Yeah, I have it here. Or, okay. Well, I had times 2. But yeah. Plus 100%. I'm missing Fire, Arcane. I think Arcane's a 15%. I don't know what Fire does, or Bleed. If Bleed is even an element. Oh yeah, also the Saw Blade, not the Saw Blade, I keep calling it, the Wall Blade. The bonus damage from stunned on that one as well. I think it's probably the same as a crossbow. Let's see here. Okay, I had 1.5 for that for some reason. You see that was 15%. Arcane's 15% to acid. Okay, so it's a 15% buff. Okay. Yeah, we had kind of figured out that it was a 15% buff for that one. But just making sure. But then yeah, the wall blade with the bonus damage to stunned enemies. Arcane debuff adds all types, yeah. Bow bleeds 6 damage per tick, 3-second duration. How many ticks? 3? Or I guess, yeah, I guess that's the other question. Is bleed dependent upon how much damage the trap doing the bleeding does? I'll go ahead and throw that in there. Well, shoot, now we got all the information. This happens from time to time. I gotta refresh it. There we go. Got Arcane plus 15%, yeah. Okay, so bow bleed is 6 damage per tick. Bleed is a physical type. Ah, okay, okay. Actually, I'm gonna throw that in there then. So we did not know what it did. Let's add it back here. Status effects. Not yet. I don't think I had it in either of those because I just didn't know what it was. What was the last trap in the game? Best cookie. That's a bug that nobody's able to get that achievement. Not sure the interval. Okay. Bleeds physical type. Equally bleed is 8 per tick. Okay. I was gonna say the last trap is this Krabby Patty secret formula if you can find it. Alright, so we'll do bleed here then. Bleed. Right. amounts. Are they all, yeah, are they all 3 seconds? I was about to ask that. What I was going to do for, once I got into this, I was going to, just list everything that had it and then put the actual numbers within the weapons and traps themselves. Solid launcher bleed stack on target. Yeah, that's the other question. Did the bleed stack? Okay. Bleed is stack configuration. Hold on. Happens to do this. Oh, it's because I'm a source editor, not visual editor. That's why. Slow effect 20%, slow duration 0.1 second. Why? Only while being hit. Ah, it's weird. Low bleed stack with saw blade, making it 13 per tick. Does it take last damage source? And it refreshed the tick or whatever. Yeah. Question. I don't know if that'll be easy to find for the information there. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's probably what that is then. The secondary status effect duration is the slow for 0.1 seconds. That's probably not super useful for the wiki, but I'll throw it in there. I mean, this is just the first trap, guys. We got the rest of the traps and weapons and all that to get through. But no, this is good. It's an extra combo point. Supply 10 bleeds overall, possibly all in 1 second. From the acid geyser. Oh, so the slow is an extra combo point, huh? Ah, interesting, interesting. Okay. I'll put in the additional stuff. Slow for 0.1 seconds. Okay. Extra. Well, see, I had thought, Time Master, I thought that there was a bad luck mitigation on the acid geyser. Or Geyser. Since there was one on the, and it seemed to be that the acid sprayer is projectiles, and not every orc gets hit, that there would be some sort of damage mitigation, bad luck mitigation, like they have on the dart spitter. And that's what I thought that maybe that 0.1 second thing was for. But I wasn't sure. And the primary damage is 15, but it seems like you can take several ticks of the damage for that. Okay. We got the dirt, we got that, yeah. So the acid geyser is somewhat finished. see here. Okay, you send me some other stuff here, it looks like. Base health, mana 75, 125. Mana regen rate 5. That's for Cygnus? Yeah, Cygnus is there. And Kelsey is also there. Base speed 800. Yeah. Oh, I think I got for them, I think I got the, I think I got that maybe wrong a little bit. I did 7.5 squares per second. I don't know what the base speed is then. It can't be 8 squares per second because they don't run that fast. So I don't know what the 800 is. Maybe it's 5/60. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense either. For the character movement. I would assume 8 grid squares per second, but that would have to be in the sprint. So we got 5 grid squares per second when we tested that. Different health of mana. Yeah, we knew they had different health of mana. We just didn't know how much. If you want, you can just show me how to get that information, how to pull that information that you pulled, and I can just pull it. And then I can kind of run through the traps and stuff and make sure that everything is checking out and correct. This is going to give me a lot, because I'm going to make one more video of like everything ultimate tier list. It's going to give me a lot of good information for that. And to make sure the wiki is updated, of course, as a reference. Okay. This is the information I was looking for. And chat can help me here with the math, all the math that we need to do. That's all good. So we got that all figured out, and that's all information all up in there. Go back to combat and edit this other post for what we think we are now. So let me open up CLCL, copy that. And we will, I'm going to leave this here because it's, it's possible that they're rounding down every time that there's a bonus done. Well, we can kind of find out with that 155 thing, right? Or the 1,555 damage stuff. As to if it's rounding down or not, right? This thing here. We know how much it does base damage. Mathworks out of his 30, so they wouldn't round down until afterwards. Okay. Okay. Ollie will switch that out then. With our new information. Oh yeah. Then so that first. Yeah, I got you. Ooh. Okay. For the whole thing to be readable tomorrow. Oh, sure, yeah, of course. That'd be cool. Then we can go through and update all of it. Well, in that case, guys, all right, I will accept that, and we will probably do Wiki tomorrow. Well, I got co-op tomorrow morning, but then we'll do Wiki after the co-op then. And then today we can just do something different if you guys want. I've tested it several times. Cryo Cannon and Deep Freeze together are 3 combo points. This may have different pros and effects, but still only 1 pros and effect for combos. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine anything with the same, like, same effect name would not stack with itself. So bleed wouldn't stack with its own bleed for other extra combos, for Spike Wall and for something else. Yeah, that way Time Master, I don't have to get up your time here with the information. Then we can just go through one trap at a time and figure everything out about it. But that's really cool. This is really good information. I'm sure this is gonna help a lot of people, especially today and even once we get everything fixed. Well, look at me, bud. So fizz damage, freeze or cryo, and freeze from deep make it 3 combos. Is Time Master where the JSON exports come from? Yes, it is. Time Master is the man, the myth, and the legend. If you guys do want to be a part of the wiki stuff, there is we do have a group that's going on to do that. So now uploaded but incomplete. Okay. Yeah, I put all the new stuff in there. I don't have any information on them yet. I was just busy kind of playing the game first. So everything that's new is just down here. Barrel Spencer Wall. Awesome. Oh, cool. You got all that stuff. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Dakota. I guess so. I'll let the 2 traps hit an enemy and then kill blunderbuss auto 4 times every time. Interesting. You're interested? Okay. I'm not sure exactly sure how to invite you. I think Time Master will have to. But if you message me on Discord or message Time Master on Discord, I can give Time Master your names on Discord. The Discord to the Orcs Must Die 3 Discord is linked below the video, so if you check that out, you'll be able to find myself or Time Master on there. I made the exports. Yep. So there the exports come from. Yeah, if you guys are interested in doing stuff with this, with the wiki, then we can definitely add you guys in, and then we can talk about kind of what we're wanting to do. So this is, yeah, this is a good template for it. General trap info, of course. This is a good template for everything that we're doing for traps, and then I can come up with a template for the other stuff like trinkets and whatnot. And then we could do that today. Yeah, and I'll make sure all the links and stuff are in there because I made all of it so I know what everything is. But all of the traps, except for the drastic steps, but I'll change it. All of the traps have the wall, floor, whatever in the name, so that's the one that I link it to. Is the one with the space within the name itself. Because the other ones take you to the Orcs Must Die 2 and 1 traps, which I'm trying to kind of avoid merging everything. And then what's the other thing? Oh, and then some stuff has OMD3 in the beginning of it. So for example, for this, we're going to have OMD3 traps. And OMD3 traps takes us backwards. Back 1 page. But I can go in and fill all that stuff in. Because, yeah, none of these 4 traps here were in any of the other Orcs Must Die games. So I didn't have to worry about that, but you can change it, I think. Let's see here. I'll hit this up here. Don't know. And exactly. I can just copy everything and make a new page for it. Page settings. Redirect this page to, yeah, maybe. Oh, here we go. This is gonna be ceiling. I always get that one messed up. Ceiling, there we go. That. Okay, cool. Going to the Knight. This will be floor. Oh yeah, and then also the war machines have war machine tagged in them as well. And war machine should take you to a page that lists all the war machines here, and then you can go back to war scenarios, which I should probably have OMD3 traps here as well. Special, say OMD3 traps, and link it here in this area. Okay, that way you can go back to the OMD3 traps page. Okay. Oh. Priestess, same thing. Then saw blade launcher. Same thing. There we go. So that should be all the traps. The trinkets, I've done something in pretty particular with them as well. For weapons, I just did melee and ranged for these. So blade staff melee, then crossbow range, that sort of thing. And then for trinkets, I did just whatever it was. So trap reset trinket is gears, so I put gear in parentheses. And then main rage trinket, bottle, that sort of thing. Ring of Storms will be a ring, I guess. But okay, so we're gonna get all that information tomorrow. We'll hit up the wiki tomorrow then, just to kind of put everything in its place. Once we have all the numbers and everything good there. We'll have this weekend to kind of work on it as well. For right now, I think what we can do is call it good now that we have a lot of cool stuff. I just don't want to be necessarily trying to like change and test things and just have incorrect information sprinkled around the place. So save that. And in that case, we are good to play some other stuff. So if you guys want to, if you want, we can do either an endless or a scramble. But we'll do that after a break. I'm going to go ahead and warm up some lunch and get something to eat here. So I'll be back on in about 30 minutes to an hour. And that'll be for actually playing the game. Highest score on Great Room Endless. I'd have to open up Stadia for that one. Right now, I've only have it 1.8 million, which I wasn't trying to go for scoring necessarily. It's nowhere near the top. Scrambles are always fun. All right, we can come back. We can start with the scramble, and then if y'all want to see an endless, we can do an endless as well. I do need more footage for the ultimate tier list guide, and I'm trying to use some other traps and stuff to do that, so we can kind of mess around with that a little bit. I also need to upgrade some of these so I can showcase the unique upgrades and all that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely higher in Stadia, but yeah, for this I've only got 1.8 million. All right, I'll catch you guys in about an hour. And Time Master, I appreciate the time.